Okay,
Okay.
it starts recording. So I let people in now,
Okay.
and then we'll see if we can figure out the.
Hello, hello, hello. We're just a lot of changes today. A lot of it's so good to see everybody. Oh my gosh, Richard, you're here, and Kitty and Linda and Ronnie and Anne and Cha and oh my gosh, everybody. Hi, Louisa and Dick and Janae. Oh my gosh, so great to see you guys. Katie and Sivan. Oh, and Karen. Oh my gosh, Karen Reed, my good friend. Karen is on the call today. Oh my gosh, it's so great. It's so good to see you. Karen, will you unmute for just a minute? Karen.
Yes, I'm unmuted.
I just want everybody to see my beautiful friend. She and I have been through thick and thin together, and I'm so grateful that she's coming to this call. And I have told her a lot about the book, and I don't know whether you've purchased it yet or anyway.
I did spend some time, about an hour and a half, reading last night.
Oh, awesome. So what's your first thought? I'm putting you on the spot here.
Well, I think the thing that stuck with me was that one saying, and I'm not quoting it perfectly, but kind of to the point that, you know, when you hit rock bottom, that's really a good place to be. So they talked as if that was, and if you don't know where you're going, that's the best journey to be on.
I love it. Yes, it's very true.
Karen, so, hello everyone, glad to be here. Jane is amazing. Love her.
Thank you, Karen. I'm so glad that you're here. Wonderful. So as we're coming in, I know that this is kind of a unique situation. We've had, you know, a time change. We've had, I'm sorry, my brain is like blank right now. So what I would like to do, Clint is not on the call today. And so what I'd like to do is kind of join all of our energies together. I would like us to send, you know, rub our hands together and send him some good energy wherever he's traveling. So let's do that. Everybody rub their hands together. I don't see everybody. Everybody, let's send good love and energy. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. Oh my gosh, let's do it one more time because I want everybody to do it. Let's do it one more time. Oh my gosh, let's really do it. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's send energy and love to Dr. Clint and to everybody that's not on the call today. Usually there's a lot of people that are on the call, and I've had a lot of people. Oh, that feels so amazing. Can you guys feel that? Oh, it just feels so amazing. You guys are so powerful. It's amazing. I've had a lot of people tell me that they have not been able to make it on the call today. And so I just want to make sure that they're included in our community, and we send love to them, and we miss them, but we're so glad they're probably going to watch the recording. So in the chat, I would like the new people, if this is your very first time, I would like you to put a number 1 in the chat. And let me see if I can, there we go. Is there anybody that has been, is this their very first time? Very first time. Oh, awesome. Chad, would you like to speak?
Sure. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm making breakfast right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad this is your very first time. I guess, you know what? This is your very first time today. Because Chad.
Yeah. Sorry about yesterday. I really had to go, and I didn't mean to leave so abruptly. And by the time I got back home, I got a bunch of text messages. I'm like, oh God.
You are so fine. I just, Che is very important in this community. He's got such an amazing energy, and he really connects a lot well with a lot of young people. And we're so glad that he's here. He's going to be a mentor on the upcoming mentor call, or mentor game that we're going to be having, or miracle game that we're going to be having on November 14th. And so we're just so glad to have you, Che. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Noya, would you mind unmuting and sharing with us how you found our group?
So I heard about the book because I've been a patient of Dr. Naram's for like, I've known the family for like 20 years or so, and I saw the book launch and it was amazing. And so, I bought the book, and then I got this email yesterday or 2 days ago about this group. So I joined.
Awesome. Well, so glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well,
Thank
great.
you.
We love hearing from people who are just joining the community. Awesome. You're getting a lot of welcomes in the chat. That's so great. Thank you. Well, wonderful. In the chat, I would like to have you put where you are calling from today. If you would put where you're calling from. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. We've got California, Oakland, Wisconsin, and welcome to all the newbies. I love it. Calling from the UK, from Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta too, Kitty. Hello, Kitty. I'm so glad to see you. So wonderful. Awesome. I just love it. I hope you guys can all read that in the chat. Germany, Texas, New York, from your home in New York. I love that. It's so great. Well, I have asked Aaron to come on the call, and it is so early in the morning there. I would like to start out with Aaron for a minute. Aaron, do you want to open your mic and speak to us before I want to do our drop to our head from our head to our heart, but I wanted to have you open up the call with me here.
Thank you. I didn't expect that so quickly. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Well,
It's
go ahead.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning here, and I don't know. I feel like it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. That energy that we just did when we rubbed our hands together has got me a little bit fired up. So I'm quite excited about the topic, and it's why I woke up. The word miracles to me holds an incredible amount of power, and just saying that, if you could feel the sensation moving through me, I'll let you move everyone through head to heart, and then I'll have a chat again, because this word miracle is a very powerful one, and I've got a lovely perspective on it to share.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your commitment of being 2 o'clock in the morning, being with us today.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
I'm sure that there are other people in the world that it's pretty late or pretty early, whichever you are, and we're so grateful you're here. So grateful. So Mike, if you wouldn't mind, Mike has chosen to pick the music. I'm so excited to move from our head to our heart. Like I said, I just love that we're joining together as one, just joining together as one. It's interesting, while he's getting that queued up, and Mike, just go ahead and get it queued up. But it's interesting, I planned like 7 different ways to take the call today, and every single one of them got knocked off. Just said, nope, you're not going to do that. So I have trusted, and I'm surrendering. There must be a bigger purpose for us joining together, something that I do not know about, I'm not aware of. And so I'm trusting you as a group to come together and bring whatever it is that we are creating together today forward, so that we can, whatever, if that is an expression to the world, if it is a healing to the world, if it is, a miracle to the world, whatever it is. And I don't know, and it may be different for everybody, but, I spent all day yesterday really going through, how am I going to direct this call? And every single time, I'd get something planned and it would knock it off. And so I really am trusting us as a community, you as an individual, coming together. I think we're the Hmong soup. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but we're Dr. Naram's Hmong soup, and we're going to take the lid off and be vulnerable today. And so grateful. So Mike, whenever you're ready, we'll do that music.
Do you want Gary's song or the Renara song?
Gary's song first. Yes, thank you.
Right. 1 second.
So while that's coming, let's just get centered. Let's, do our sit up straight, put your feet on the floor. You can close your eyes, put your hands in your lap, and just get centered. Just get connected with you. Get connected with your authentic self or your divine self, your God self, whichever you do when you are in a state of meditation. Wonderful. Thank you. Mike, can you turn it up just a hair?
That was just a short sample.
Just take a deep breath in, get centered, breathe out. Really connect with your purpose. Really connect with who you truly are. What is it that you're going to be bringing to the call today? What is it that you're going to be bringing to the world? Really breathing that in. I heard a saying this week that breathing in is receiving and breathing out is giving. And we all breathe in, we all give or receive, and we all breathe out, we give. And if we breathe in too much air, it gets painful. And if we receive way too much, it's painful and not in balance. And if we breathe out too much, we give too much, we push and give too much, it's out of balance as well. And so find your balance. Find your balance of giving and receiving in this moment, in this time. Let's go ahead and come back into the room, come into your consciousness. Be grateful for the moment that we had. Be grateful for the miracles that we are going to be seeing unfold. Oh, so beautiful. Is there anybody that had an experience that they would like to share? For me, it just was very centering, very grounding. Awesome. Wonderful. Erin, would you like to unmute and start sharing with me?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you for that. I was already feeling quite grounded, and that moment just really brought me to quite a special place, and I think brought me to where my message would start today. The word miracle. I've talked about this for many years with people. I feel we find as human beings that miracle is a large word. We ask for great miracles. We ask for great healing. We ask for a lot of money. We ask for great happiness. We ask for these huge amounts of things in the form of miracles. And in my lifetime, I've been blessed with a perspective that actually sees miracles very differently. When I wake up in the morning, every single morning, I take that down as a miracle. When I walk outside, usually around 5:30 in the morning, I don't wear shoes, I'm barefoot, my feet touch the ground. That's a miracle. At the moment, my children are on the other side of the world, but every time I hear their voices in a voice note or a message, or I get an opportunity to speak with them briefly, even though that separation and that distance is a challenge and at times feels like a negative in my life, I have to remind myself that's a miracle. Every sunrise, every breath of wind that touches your skin, every touch of a family member or a friend, every smile of a child is a miracle. So for me, what I'm constantly reminded of is, as much as we want these big things in our lives and we really sometimes deserve and need them, when we forget the little miracles that are happening around us constantly every second of every day, we sometimes may struggle to see the bigger miracles. The other beautiful part of seeing and feeling those little miracles is that the more we notice them, the more we're aware of them, the more we're mindful of them, they are so much easier to share with the world around us. And each one of those tiny little miracles is a moment of gratitude, is a moment of beauty. And a moment of gratitude and beauty shared is healing in itself. And as we've talked about before, this idea of contagious healing, gratitude is contagious, happiness is contagious. Just try smiling at 10 people as you walk around during the day, and one of those 10 people will smile back. There's that contagious effect. Same with sharing your gratitude moments. How many times do you speak out loud with not just the people very close to you, but the people you work with, and just generally people you might randomly meet, which is something I like to do. I'm actually very grateful for this moment. I've struggled, I'll be honest, I've struggled a little bit in the last week with my children on the other side of the world. And the very message I've just shared, as much as I try to live by, I sometimes disconnect from. And as I speak to you now and I share and I connect with you all sincerely, authentically, and with a little bit of vulnerability here, I'm reminded of just how important these little tiny miracles are. They're all around you. Right now, as you sit here listening to me, there's a miracle going on right there. You can hear your children in the background laughing, crying, fighting. That's a miracle. You've got power, you've got electricity in your house, there's a miracle. You've got clean water, there's a miracle. So I guess for me, the message today is maybe to pass on that we don't forget the millions of tiny little miracles in our lives, and don't forget to share them. And I think I'll leave it at that.
Erin, I love what you have to say because I live that way. You know, the quote in the book by Albert Einstein, where it says, there are only two ways to live in your life. One is through nothing is a miracle, and the other is that everything is a miracle. It is so profound. Every day I get to share. I have my cute friend Louisa. And every day we send miracles to each other. When we see a miracle, we send a WhatsApp message and share that with each other. And it just makes the awareness just so much more grand. In one of the groups, I don't remember which one, I posted a something on miracles. How I see miracles are very similar, like being outside in this early summer evening when the sun is setting and the fireflies start to come out and you start seeing the little magical, the spark, and it sparks and then it fades and as they fly away. And that's like a miracle. It sparks and then it goes over here and it sparks again. There's another, you see all these little miracles like fireflies. And if you don't notice them, I mean, they're magical and they're mystical in the moment, and it just gives you a sense of awe and wonder. But if you don't record them, if you don't, take a picture of them or video them or even, acknowledge them, a lot of times we can go about our day to day, the evening duties of the night, and we forget about that beautiful experience we just had. And miracles are the same. They can come, some miracles come very big and some miracles come very small for me. And a lot of the very profound miracles are very subtle. What I notice is I notice a miracle, and if that spark is in my heart, I know it was a miracle. It's just like talks to me. It resonates with me. It's beautiful. So there are miracles all around us. And we had a miracle on Friday night. Carol Ray was so gracious to be able to get a group together. It was my Friday night. It was their Saturday morning in Australia. She has a group together, and I got to connect with Erin and with Sandra and with Kim just on those calls. And it was such a beautiful exchange. Erin has such a vision that is in alignment with this group. These ancient principles that exist that are so profound, and they're simple. They're easy to not do. They're easy to, dismiss, kind of like that miracle, kind of like that firefly. But in reality, if we actually are aware and we make them known, they work. They work. And so many of you on this call has seen those miracles, and sometimes they seem really, really small. And to somebody else, it may not seem like a miracle. But to somebody else, like me, if it's my miracle, oh my gosh, it is a miracle. It's amazing. Erin, do you have anything to say about our Friday call or anything else?
Just as I was listening to you then, I can feel the tone in your voice, and it's sending shivers through me. It's incredible. When we choose to recognize these things called miracles, some people call them synchronicities or whatever they are. The words don't matter. What matters is it's a form of connection. And what we're actually doing is we're honoring that moment, which for me is honoring God, source, the universe. There is no more pure form of expression than for us to connect. Now, when you list the miracles we just talked about now, whether they be in human form, natural form, the sun, the wind, our children, our partners, our mothers, our fathers, we connect. And that recognition of that moment, for me, is why we're here. And as I've talked about before, and I'll continue to talk about, I think we live in a world that has all these beautiful tools to connect, but we're actually not truly connected anymore. I mean, in these groups, we're lucky, we're blessed, we are, but the world as a whole is struggling from a severe case of disconnection. You walk into homes sometimes and you'll see kids on iPads and phones, and it's just this really sad sense of disconnection. And we are very blessed, especially in these calls and with Dr. Clinton and with Dr. Naram's message. It's like a web that's bringing us all together and connecting us. And I think the last thing I will say is on that call that we had the other day, I mentioned the 3 questions, and I'm on a little bit of a mission at the moment about these 3 questions. So for any and all of you, I think it's page 210 of the Ancient Secrets book. There are 3 questions that Dr. Clint asked in the TED Talk, which many of us led us to the book. I would advise you to go and have a look at those questions again, because I've been on a journey for 2 weeks now to really, truly answer those questions. Those questions are a miracle in themselves. If you answer them truthfully, they'll take you down a little garden path that still hasn't ended for me, because the truth of what I really want is an ongoing journey and something that I'm having to be very honest about, very sincere, and at times very tearful and very sad about, to get to the bottom of. And I guess it's about the most pure form of connection for me at the moment, is the connection with myself. That's honoring me so I can understand my truth and I can learn how to serve, because my life and my life experiences were for one reason, and that is to give to you all. So I'm actually really honored at the moment, and I'm going to hold a tear back because I really am very grateful to have an opportunity to connect with everyone, and for Dr. Clint and for Dr. Naram for being the focal point for these beautiful traditions and teachings to keep moving, because it's now our duty to keep them moving, keep sharing them, keep connecting with others.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Aaron, thank you so much. You know, what I am totally aware of is that when somebody speaks, it usually stirs the heart of another. Is there something that somebody would like to say regarding what we've just talked about?
Hey, Jane, I'd love to jump in and just say thank you to Aaron, especially about telling people to smile. I remember when I was in Melbourne, Australia, they actually had street signs up that said, "You're now entering a smile zone, 6 smiles per hour." And what a great idea and concept. I actually copied that idea and made some stickers up for my kids' elementary school years ago when they were in elementary school, that turned their school into a smile zone. And makes me aware of currently, and we're all wearing masks around the world, that it's not so easy to see people smile and to smile at people. They might be smiling under that mask, they might not be. But I've noticed myself making more eye contact with people, because we starve for this human interaction of reading things on people's faces, and when it's limited to, and when we're filtering part of that information, I look in people's eyes a lot more than I used to, and make those kind of connections. But maybe there's a way that we can also practice smiling with our eyes, and to connect that way with people in these times that we're living in. But that was great about just remembering to have those nonverbal exchanges with people.
So great. It's so powerful. As you guys know, I'm a smiler and I do this often. And it's amazing how, when you're kind and gracious to somebody, that, it just can change their day, and it uplifts me. And Mike, I love what you say about smiling with here, but what about smiling from your heart? That's really where, it can really explode out to everybody. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Mike.
Dana, Randy.
Yes, Randy.
Just wanted to, Mike, you're right about the smiles, but I do see it in people's eyes. Above the masks, you can see who's truly smiling, and is from the heart, Jana, and it does show in the eyes when somebody smiles truthfully. As far as Aaron was talking about, the world is disconnected, and I do agree with him on that. And one of the points of what I see our group as being about is one of the pods around the world that are all working together to raise world consciousness. That's how I see it. It's all the little groups like ours that are working together to raise the consciousness of the world. And I just I wrote something this morning because I was laying in bed last night, doing what I'm grateful for, and for some reason I got in a conversation with myself about off track, and it just came to me, and I had to write it down this morning, and it was, I am grateful for understanding more every day of who the universe and I are. And that was just something that was, I had just before I went to sleep. So that was something that sort of had a little impact of interest for me, I guess.
Randy, I love that. Will you say it again one more time so that everybody can hear it again?
Okay, can you hear me okay? I got new
Can
earphones
absolutely
and
hear you.
microphone.
But sometimes, you know, I don't know about everybody, but sometimes when somebody has a thought and they're speaking, it takes my mind goes off onto another trail, and then I have to bring myself back to the present moment. And
Oh,
it's
God.
such a powerful statement that I want everybody to hear it.
Yeah, well, I'm the same way. Okay, I am grateful for understanding more every day of who the universe and I are.
I love that. So beautiful. Awesome. You know, it's gratitude is, you know, these three principles, these three principles that we have been working on since, you know, the beginning are so powerful. And when we were on our call Friday night, that's what I saw that Aaron was really aware of. And Chet is also very well aware of it as well. The what do you want absolutely brings you into present time. It absolutely connects me, I should say, for myself, because I don't know about how it works for you guys, but for me, it connects me into present time. And I'm able to see a vision for the future of where I really do want to go. And then it makes my life about choice instead of being the victim of life. I get to choose which way I want to go. The Aditi Devo Bhawa, you know, that comes up. I've got to face something today that I really don't want to face. And it is, I probably should see, I'm really looking to see the divine in it. And I have put some good intentions towards it. And I really want it to go well. You know, there's probably going to be some not so well with it, but you know, I'm going to continue to look for the divine in it. And that's what this is all about, is when something that is unexpected that comes up, we see the divine in it so that we can transition it. And when Clint was talking about Dr. Naram having the problem journal, I have really found that to be such a benefit, that, you know, when I write these things in my problem journal and know that there is going to be a solution, it just gives me a sense of like relief. It's just such a great feeling. But when I go into a state of gratitude for that Aditi Devo Bhawa, it just transitions me through. It's like a vehicle. It's like, it just kind of moves me through the negativity into, you know, a place of possibility. And they're just beautiful. And if we can really grasp these, and I think the reason why I'm kind of going on this is because we've got the Miracle game coming up on November 14th. And, you know, I think a lot of us who've been in the group for a while are really wanting to deepen the connection that we have with these three principles. And they're so magical. Does anybody have anything they'd like to speak to? Yeah, please unmute yourself, Mark.
Hi there.
Hi.
Speaking of gratitude, I was listening to a spiritual teacher the other day, and you know, I used to try to make gratitude lists when I get up. Oh, thank you for my home. Thank you for this and that, mentally. But this person said, you know, think of, you know, a lot of people maybe have a prayer before they eat and things. And I've done that, but it's just kind of a routine, a habit. But this person said, think of what the universe did to create that apple or create that piece of grain or that bread. The sun had to shine, the wind had to blow on the seed, the rain had to come down on it. It took centuries for it to evolve and grow to create this food. And then it's given to you to nourish your body so you can then spread the same love to others. And so now when I do my little prayer, maybe before I eat something, I think, wow, this apple I'm eating or this mung bean soup I'm eating, it took centuries for the universe to create this for me. and give it to my body for strength so I can give back. And so it's just a different way of thinking of gratitude than just the route way of thinking of it, you know. And so that's just what I wanted to say.
It's so great. It's so great. How have you seen that affect you in your life? Have you seen?
Yeah, it totally affects me when I eat things. I just don't do the, you know, I know the Bible says, think of me when you eat and drink and all. Okay, fine. But when you really are grateful and think, wow, I'm eating this carrot and it had to be farmed and pulled out of the ground and it gave its life in a way for me, you know, you think differently. And I know it's the ancients, the American Indians did this kind of thing. I'm not really talking exactly of thanking the thing itself. I'm just thanking the universe for delivering the sustenance it does, you know, and the simplest little things like that.
Oh, awesome.
This other teacher also was talking about breathing. You know, we really, I won't go on and on, but was talking about breathing and how we all, you know, meditate sometimes on the breath and this and that. And she said, think of it this way too. Think when you breathe in, you're breathing in the love of the universe. And then when you breathe out, you can breathe out love to other people and to the universe. And if you think of it that way, every breath can be a meditation and can be a statement of love. And so when I try to go to my breath, I think of it that way sometimes. I'm not just listening and watching the breath. I'm pulling in love and giving out love. So those are the kinds of things I'm just beginning to practice for the last 3 weeks since I've started listening to you guys. So anyway, for me, it's a transformation. So just wanted to share that with you guys.
So Mark, yeah, thank you. How did you find us? What was your story?
I was roaming on YouTube 3 or 4 months ago and saw Dr. Clint and saw, you know, and he was talking about his, well, maybe it was even a year ago, and he was talking about his book and stuff. And it struck my heart as, wow, this is fascinating and totally interesting. And I signed up to get the book, but I was distracted by life. I didn't take action at that time. And then, you know, I was on, I just, I'll check again. And 2-3 weeks ago, I checked and I listened to some of the talks that you have. And it hit me. I mean, every word that was said hit my heart. And it's kind of, I mean, I don't know if you believe in the source, or spirit, whatever it might be, just told me that this is what I should be. Actually, it's funny, this conflicts with an online church I used to go to. But this is now my online church in a way, you know, because this is the feeling, the way you guys are talking are the way we all ought to be feeling and talking. And I wasn't getting that at any church I've ever been to. So at any rate, I don't want to go on and on. I just want to tell you what a blessing this is. And I apologize for sometimes being greedy and thinking, oh, I wish Dr. Clint could come to my town. Well, it all will happen when it happens. And I just have to practice the eating and reading the book and doing like everybody else does and until the universe opens up. So
thank you.
Anyway, thank you.
What you have to say is so valuable. You know, every single person that's a part of this community, everything that they have to say is valuable. You know, what you have that you're sharing in your heart is so valuable. We want to hear it. I too, Mark, you know, Jonathan, when he had Dr. Clint at his home, he said, you know, I just wanted to kidnap him, you know.
I know, right? You get so excited about it. And I forget, I don't want to be greedy, but my heart wants to be so greedy when it comes to all of this stuff. So, I mean, just can't get enough of it, you know.
I know. I'm a little addicted myself. It's just, you know.
Well, thank you for letting me share. I'll let somebody else. So, thank you.
Padmalaya,
good morning.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, Elio, hello. How are you?
I'm here. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
When I woke up in the morning and I joined the group, I had no intention to appear here. I've been with the group most all the time. And because of the subject of the matter, I decided to make a statement on my own. In any way, it is about miracles, and we all have a take on the subject. And it was beautiful what you, Jaina, what you said, And Aaron was very, very important to point out, that miracles are not all the big things that are happening. The very little things, that are happening are important. But the other part of it is that all the negative things that are happening to us are miracles. And we have to recognize them. And it was recently that I discovered that part, and I'm like, wow, that is really interesting. We've always focused positive, 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 but life is not all positive, and we have polarity, and we all looking at it from a duality. So the thing is, the other thing is, to be aware and be in the moment. And I'm sure that we will find having a problem, being in the moment. You sit down and you eat and you have to be in the moment. And that by itself, becomes a chore until you get the meaning of it, that you become that moment of eating, you become to be in the moment. And this thing with the miracles are happening continuously, but we are not responding. So I'm telling you, if something came, how should I say, when you go on the internet, you end up starting one way, you end up somewhere else, or something just pops on the screen. And this thing came in and says, look, we have to be thankful for everything. And that way you acknowledge the miracles that are happening to you all the time. And that is, you walk on the street and I don't know, you're driving with the car and somebody cuts in front of you. And I have a very, very nice temperament, and I'm like you, and I just go, let who taught you how to drive, one of those deals. And the fact is that at that moment, I learned to say thank God for everything. And it kind of like, instead of me going crazy, I go thank God for everything. So basically, where there is something positive or there is something negative, but continuously throughout the day, you say thank God for everything. And you acknowledge all these miracles because basically you are alive. And every moment of your life is a miracle. And we all say that.
Yes.
But this is a way to actually acknowledge. And my wife got to be better than I, Sometimes I do something, and I'm supposed to say thank God for everything. But the thing is, she's like, you forgot something. And she's much, much better at doing that. She caught on, I said, here, read this. And she read it, she got hooked on it. And now she's doing it a lot more than I'm doing. But I would like to make everybody, you will see how your life changes by getting this sentence out continuously. And it was so important that I came out of my hiding. And I want to express this to everybody. And I think it is another nuance on the subject of miracles, that we have a way to actually be present in a very short burst in our head. You don't have to go out loud, but in a short burst, thank God for everything, and that makes I think, I know that, it makes a big difference. As you can see, I'm not prepared to be in the meeting.
Well, I am so glad that you are here, Elio. It's, you have been missed. We love you, and I'm so glad that you're here. Amruta is the one that made that post where she said, thank God for everything. And it's a beautiful post. If you guys have not read it, I recommend that you go to the Facebook page and read the post. She has a beautiful story that goes along with, thank God for everything. And it's just, it really is catch in your brain, and it really, there's a rhythm to it. There's a flow to it. I noticed myself after reading the article, or after her reading her story, that I too was hooked on that statement of gratitude. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I'm so glad that you brought it to our attentions, Elio.
I'm so glad that I found out who did it. Like I said, it just came and it just went. It was just a blink, but it affected me tremendously. And when we went and expressed our impression of what to do with the miracles, I'm like, but this is like topping off everything, because you have a chance all the time, to just be grateful for whatever is happening, no matter how negative it is.
Yes.
Acknowledge it.
Yes, exactly.
And don't, how should I say, you just go with the flow, basically.
Yeah, and that's what the Aditi Devo Bhawa is all about, is when those negative times come up, that you still find that gratitude, that divine in that, and it is beautiful. Thank you so much, Elio. So appreciate you speaking.
Thank you, everybody. I enjoyed the meetings. Like I said, I have seen them mostly. I'm going to go back hiding. I love you all.
Love you all. Love you too.
And I appreciate everything that you're doing. And it's beautiful. And I feel the energy. And I believe that I'm obviously, because I feel the way I feel, I'm still in touch. But not I'm present. It's just that you don't see me.
Just so grateful that you are here, because this is like all the mung bean soup. Some of the ingredients are not as strong as others, but they're very much needed. And so I so appreciate you being here.
I appreciate all of you, and I thank you, and I wish you love, and I'm sending you love. And I like to see your beautiful faces.
Awesome.
Gina, we
Yes.
have Richard who has raised his hand, who wants to speak, but Malaya has unmuted herself. So if you
and I would like Ronnie to speak afterwards, Ronnie, if you'd be ready after. So yes, Richard, I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I just want to say that we are a miracle. Last night it was a blue moon last night, and I actually did a celebration for the Night of the Dead, which is the celebration of all of our parents or grandparents and all of our ancestors that came before us. And we forget that who we are from all the lineage that we've forgotten. And this is what Dr. Naram was talking about his lineage of healers. He's brought this ancient knowledge all the way to us, with Clint also bringing this to us. And I think we have to celebrate who we are as a miracle, that we're all here together right now and celebrating this moment. I love you all. So thank you so much.
Richard, you always have so many great things to say, and I just really appreciate you being here. I have thought about you through the week, and I haven't been able to contact you, but I just really appreciate what you bring to this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you all.
Love you. Padmalaya.
Hi, everyone. I resonate with so much of this in a really significant way. So I'm going to speak generally, and then I have a specific gratitude for my week to share. So for those of you who don't know, I have a 19-year-old son who is fully recovered from severe autism. And so much of what we've talked about was really relevant. Jana, you asked after Aaron spoke what resonated with us. And there were things from Aaron and, multiple things that people said. So one thing is the idea that the universe doesn't make mistakes. This was huge for me because I actually remember when I first discovered this approach that had to do with changing your mindset. And my son was 3 and still, very autistic. And he did really odd things. He twirled his hands and feet very intensely and had major meltdowns, and the list really goes on. He was completely OCD, etc., etc., etc. But I discovered this idea that your beliefs are a choice. And I remember thinking, the universe doesn't make mistakes. God doesn't make mistakes. He is this way for a reason. And I wasn't meant to know what the reason was right at that time, but I believed I would find out later. But just believing that the universe doesn't make mistakes helped me be calm and helped me accept what was happening in the moment so I could be present and loving to him, because all of that was blocked. So that one belief was a major game changer, which many things followed for healing after that. So that was very first. And then this other idea of the gratitude being gratitude for little things, that kind of sustained me and saved me and nourished me along the way of this years of very difficult, my most difficult challenge of my life. And I remember, and I saw Michael wrote in the chat the quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. His teachings were really helpful to me, and things like just looking at the clouds, and or the gentleman who was talking about the seeds growing and the wind blows the seed to the spot, and all the little things that really are miracles. And I remember being able to look out the window at the clouds, and the Thich Nhat Hanh talks about the whole process of the water and the rain and the clouds, and the clouds go across the sky, and just so many little things. And that sustained me during this difficulty, and just kept me calm, which I really believe is an important part of healing, to be calm and be present and in this state of peace. So that gratitude brought those things to me, gratitude for the little things, because I didn't have any big things to be grateful for at that time. Yes, I could have said I have a nice house I live in and so on, but beyond those basic things, I was really, every day was a big challenge. And then also Aaron was talking about connection, and that has so many levels and layers, but connection was also one of the biggest components of my son's autism recovery. To be able to get that connection with him. But the most important way that happened is to open myself and to really value that and prioritize that and be seeking that. But all those other things, being calm and present and grateful and trusting the universe, brought me to that place where I could open myself and be a light. And then my son wanted to connect to me. So these things all came together for the healing process. And connection is really so key. So it's like the chain or the river. I tend to think of it in really fluid terms. And then Jana, you said something really interesting. You talked about how going through, believing that a problem is an opportunity and a Aditi Devo Bhava and embracing our problems. You said that it opens a realm of possibilities. And that is so true too, because by also believing that somehow through this, what I went through, all of these other things that I couldn't have possibly imagined have evolved in my life that have been so wonderful and really would have never happened otherwise. So this idea that if you embrace it, you're opening yourself to things that you might not, you couldn't have thought of. So it's really the way to go.
It is so true. It is so true.
It's love and peace. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Padma. You always have so much great wisdom to share with the group. Your word sparked something in me. I remember there are times where I was sitting down knowing the gratitude was the way through, and I could not find anything to be grateful for. Nothing. And those are those moments where, you know very well the ego is like, got me. It's like it got me. So I had to really start with very small things like, okay, I can breathe. Okay, my body is functioning. My heart is beating. My eyes are blinking. Those are the moments, because sometimes we get so caught up in that challenge that, and there's been times where I just have not been able to move through, and just starting with those small concepts just really start opening up, and again, to that space of possibility.
There's I think it's from Thich Nhat Hanh, a technique or a method where you look for what's not wrong. And it's just like what you're talking about. And when we look at that, we really can find so many things that are really important. Because let's say one of those things, you couldn't breathe well, was not going right, that would be a huge problem. So to appreciate those things, to be grateful I had plenty of diapers for my son.
Diapers are very important when you have a child. I coached people with anxiety and depression for 14 years. And, knowing that they had anxiety and depression and they were coming in with a negativity, one of the statements that really stuck with me and I shared often is, whatever you focus on will grow. And I know that Cornelia, that was a statement that was a real big turning point in her story. Whatever you focus on grows. And so when you are focusing on that negativity, or when you're focusing on the part of where you're not grateful, you're going to get more of it, but if you focus on the miracles, or you focus on, okay, what is the divine in this, Aditi Diva Wawa, whatever negativity is coming up, and it's not even negativity. It's just a hard patch, whether it's a speed bump or whether it's a roadblock, something, there's always divine in it. And what I see is that it helps us move to that next step. It helps me move to that next step when it happens. And I go through these times several times per week. I use these principles every single day. I do the Marma points. Matter of fact, I was going to do this, and then after we do this, I'm going to go to Ronnie. I want everybody to do this Marma point. So let's grab our right ear, and press 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a Marma point that Dr. Giovanni uses when he meets somebody, because it's the Marma point to show that you're loved. And I don't know if you guys can feel that love going through your body or not right now. I can. So if you can't, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just feel it. It's amazing. I do this one often, especially if I'm being, the inner critic is showing up in my life. And it gives me the opportunity to flip it around. So Ronnie, would love to hear from you. So let me Ronnie is in charge of the book club coming up. So we'd like to hear about that. And then also Ronnie's going to be a miracle mentor. So we'd love to hear her thoughts on that as well as your story, if you've got some things to share.
Thank you. This is so exciting for me. I'm just, these are the moments you live for. They just accumulate, and then they're there. So I'm going to start off. I want to acknowledge Dick Dalton because of his story, because it made me look a little bit differently back at my own story. And then I want to start at my beginning and then take you through a little process, because the process being my life. And so I've never been a patient person, and it's been brought to my attention many, many times. So it started very naturally as I look back and look at the picture. My mother was 7 months pregnant. I was the first child. My mom and dad were moving into their new house that was going to have room for a baby. And my mother was an only child, and her mother, my grandmother, had a heart disease. And so she couldn't at that time get very excited about things because that would affect her heart. And so they tried to keep things calm. Well, she was going to be a grandma, so they were moving into the house, and my mother suddenly started getting labor pains First baby doesn't know what it's all about. But she knew the baby was coming quick, and she knew she had to get her mother out of the house, who was trying to fix the house, and send her home because she would be alarmed at what was going on at 7 months. So she finally gets my grandmother and grandfather out of the house. She runs to the phone. She calls the ambulance. An ambulance pulls up. My dad doesn't know why that ambulance is pulling up. And my mother looks and says, "We're having a baby now." And my dad thinks she's crazy. He had never heard of a woman not having they have to have, it's not long enough. 9 months. 9 months isn't here. It can't be. So he's thinking she's going crazy. So the ambulance pulls up, everybody jumps in the ambulance, and we found out later that the two drivers, they usually send out an experienced driver and a driver that was new for training. This day, everybody got sick. We had two new people that had never been in the ambulance before, ever. And so the one in the back as the attendant, my mother saying, "The baby's coming now." And the driver says, "Hold her legs together. We've got to get her to the hospital. Don't let this baby come now." And my mom's thinking, she's going to suffocate. This can't happen. So she starts screaming, "Leave me alone. Don't touch me." My dad's going, "I've never seen her act like this. She's going crazy." They get to the hospital. I was born. And at that time, many, many years ago, they separated me from my mother and father, thinking if they didn't see me, it would be better because I was going to die. When I look back at that, I think, 7 months, I was in a hurry. I've never been patient, and I've seen that throughout my life. It took 2 years. I was very, very sick. Many complications. And until I was 2 years old, then my mom said it was like I woke up one morning and says, "I'm catching up and I'm out of here," and just started growing and developing and so forth. Fast forward, I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to help people. I always knew that. And it ended up that my family and a whole lot of friends in my life had many, many, many medical problems. And so I spent way more than average time in hospitals to only find out that this is not where I want to be. They do wonderful things, but they do awful things in hospitals. And so it made me turn the corner to go more in the holistic, natural way of handling things. Of course, if I had a broken leg, I'd go get my leg set, but otherwise, I turned more to that, which made me open up and start doing a magazine. And I published a magazine for 13 years in the alternative fields. I've worked with Deepak Chopra and Greg Braden and Tom Kenyon and did all those live events, which were so much fun. And I didn't know, I just would get a feeling and I would follow it. I'd pick up the phone and follow it. And thank God I didn't think about it very long, because I was timid enough and shy enough that I would have never followed through. So I just did it. Dr. Clint is one of those just do it kind of things for me. I met him through the Inside Edge, which is a nonprofit, and a friend of mine is the president, which is a nonprofit in Southern California. And the president called me up and she says, "I think there's this guy you want to meet." And so I said, okay. So she said, "Here's his number," and whatever. And I reached out to him and I didn't get any response. And I thought, usually I get response. Here's my impatient Ronnie showing up again, right? So I reach out again, no response. I'm going, I know what I'm supposed to do here. So I'll back up just one moment. In the middle of the night, several months before, which spirit has a way of waking me up in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I get this loud and clear message: "Go to your computer and look up book clubs." And I'm going, and no, I'm going back to sleep. No, what is this? I'm dreaming, forget it. Roll over, try to go back to sleep. No, get up, go look up book. I don't do anything with book clubs. What's that got to do with anything, right? And so again, get up, go look up book clubs. And I'm thinking, this is absolutely ridiculous. I was really aggravated. So I get up, I look up book clubs and I find out there's hundreds of them. They're everywhere, every genre, everything you can think of. What do I want to do that for? The competition's insane. What do I need to know about this for? I go back to bed, I fall asleep for a little while, and I wake up and I thought, what if you did a book club with the author and met the author? That would really be cool. So I put this whole thing together to meet the author, and I set out and I put 8 book clubs together with all of these people, Dick Dalton being one of them. And I have everything all set up and it's raring to go. And I'm so excited. The authors like the idea that everybody's whatever. And then COVID hits, we get evacuated several times from my house because of the fires. I have to change all the dates. Everything falls apart. And here's impatient me going, okay, am I really not supposed to do this? What's going on? What is really going on here? Well, I read Clint's book. I just know I have to get it. And he says, finally we connect and he says, do me last, do everybody else. I'm not, and I'm going, I want to do now. Patient me shows up again. Well, what I've learned is, and it's not easy for me, it's not easy, is to trust in the process. And of course, Dr. Clint's so busy. And I'm so impatient and I'm going to contact him one too many times and he's going to go, no, no, I can't just do it. And so we've changed the dates, we've done everything, but what has happened is it's all ready now. And I've just changed the date again. So the dates have been changed. And what I found out, been working on his PowerPoints, and I'm humbled beyond belief. Because in doing his book clubs, I keep researching this man he's a saint on this earth. He's amazing. What he's done, and then I've got to put this in and I've got to put that in, and oh my God, there's so much about this person. And we're so lucky to be in this group. My heart just beats with such gratitude and such immense value to be lucky enough to be part of this and then part of the group. And being part of the group, it's kind of been disconnected for me. We started the miracle group and then I didn't get anything. And I thought, am I in this or am I not in this? And so I always get to re-look again, renew myself to say, Ronnie, quit being so skeptical about things and just be open to all of it. So in my very humble way, I am so excited to be part of this group. I'm so excited to touch hundreds of lives with the work that's in this group and with what Dr. Clint's doing, and to know the feeling that everybody gets involved in this book club will have by being connected with the group and with the book and with the teachings. It's a perfect time. I've never known another time in history with COVID in our world and where we are right now. This is the perfect time. Yeah. Everybody needs there isn't any angle, any piece of this that isn't truly valuable, and to be part of it and to be able to serve in it is magical. It's the miracle. It's 100 miracles. It's 1,000 miracles. So I'm very, very grateful. I love everybody in the group. I feel like I know everybody. Everybody's my family. It's so, so cool. And so on Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have a free introduction where everybody's going to meet. It's free, so everybody can come. Please spread the word to everybody, and then we'll get I don't have the link yet, so I need the link for Monday morning so everybody can join us on Zoom. And one of my dear friends who used to have a TV show called Adventures in Health is going to be interviewing Dr. Clint. And then we keep that up on the website so you can keep sending people back to it to see it if they miss it, or we'll have the recording. And then Dr. Clint and I changed the starting date till the 21st. So on the 21st, we will start the first week. It will be 4 weeks. And because of all of that, I changed the special, and the special was supposed to be over on the 2nd, and we're going to extend it to November 8th. So it's $80, and if you bring a friend, you can split that cost, and it would be 40 and 40, which breaks down to $10 a week for the class. After the 8th, then the price will go up. I'm sorry.
No, I think somebody's unmuted.
Oh.
So Ronnie, is the 9 o'clock, is that Eastern time or is that Pacific time?
Pacific time.
Pacific time. So that would be 1 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah. Wonderful. Or no,
Gina, that would be
12 o'clock.
That would be noon.
12 o'clock. It'd be
East.
noon. Okay, perfect. Noon. Yeah, 12 o'clock. Awesome. Well, wonderful. Ronnie, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. It's just, you know, I'm very interested in this. When we started to do the miracle game, I was very interested in doing a book group in the Atlanta area, and I'm very grateful to be able to connect with Kitty yesterday. And I think we're going to probably move forward. We've got some things that we're going to be working with. So I'm excited about this. So I'm going to keep an eye on this book club and see exactly how it all functions and works. And I just see this book going forward. It's just really an amazing book, amazing principles. And you guys already know that, I'm talking to the choir here. Awesome. I've asked another person to join us, Renera. I don't know if you're ready to, I want to hear your story, Renera. Let me just tell you, Renera was in my miracle group last time. She is extremely talented. Matter of fact, I've asked her to play a piece for us before we, end the call. She's a beautiful pianist, and I just want to be able to have you be introduced to this beautiful soul. You cannot create music like that and not have a beautiful soul. So Renera, would you unmute and share your story with us?
Okay. Hello, everybody. Namaste from Paris. I don't know from what to
So how
start.
did you come upon the Dr. Naram or the?
It is so huge.
So let's start with the book. How did you come across Clint or Dr. Naram?
Yeah, to make it will be shorter. Yeah. So I can't avoid to say about that. 3 years before, I was looking some remedies, for one friend of mine. And suddenly I see Dr. Naram in the internet. Just he said, believe it or not. And I was immediately in love with this person. So it was spontaneous, the love from the first sight. So I started to accumulate all of his video. I started to write all of the remedy and to give it here and there and everywhere. And it's really helped, So, and my dream, it was to meet this person, just to meet, touch him and to feel his energy alive. So with my friend of mine in London, we took one appointment with Dr. Naram, but he couldn't come this time because he was one accident in Himalaya. So I met Dr. Giovanni. So instead of Dr. Naram, it was Dr. Giovanni. Also very special person, just one ball of love also, And we became friends, and only after 5-10 minutes consultation, it was something really like a happy connection. And but I didn't leave this idea to meet Dr. Naram in any case, So I was following all of the announcement, etc. So I saw that he had to be in Roma, in Italy, October 2019, last year. So I went in Roma just especially to see him. I didn't have any special disease, you know, especially I took already a remedy for 1 year from Dr. Giovanni, but I had to see, to touch Dr. Naram, you know. So I came to Roma. I love Roma. I love Italy. So it was one reason of more to go. And in Paris, you know, it's very easy, 1.5 hours from Paris to Italy. So, and I came with my music CD. And I don't know, actually, I took my albums to give them to Dr. Giovanni and Dr. Naram, just like a gratitude for just the way they are, you know. And so first I met Dr. Naram. I gave him this gift, my album, and he asked me. He immediately gave me another gift from him, you know. So when he took my pulse, and so he said me that you are in one phase that you don't know really where you are, and but what do you want? I said I want to transform and to heal with the music. I want to transform and to heal, to be healed through my music and to heal the world and transform the world. He said me, you will. And for me, it was very important to hear something like that from somebody like him. Because he was not just, you know, somebody from the street who loves me, you know, from my family, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's happened later, it is that, so we have even photo I sent you. We have even photo, 3 of us with my album and Dr. Naram holding this album. And he really encouraged me to, because you have to know that I started to make the concert from 2007 and started to compose the music from 2004. But many things happened the last 3-4 years, and I just lost this permanent connection I had with this composition and creativity and the music and I didn't see really the same sense to make just the concerts. So at exactly in this moment I met Dr. Naram, and so in some month when all of us we heard about this incredible news that he left this world, and in the same time I received by email something about the book. I even didn't make attention what is it, this book, and I knew about the ancient secrets, and I started to follow that before 1 year before to be first to get that, you know. But when I received the mail, I didn't make the connection between this book and this group and this miracle, 30-day miracles, etc. Just, you know, so I joined this group and everything started, you know. And I'm absolutely join everybody who expressed themselves what they feel and what they experience about the miracle and about the gratitude. That is the something without what you can't go forward in your inner spiritual world. It's just impossible. And for me also just the birth and to breathe in and breathe out, it is the miracle, everyday miracle. To wake up morning when the million people didn't wake up, you know, it is, for me, it's a miracle. I'm smiling, it is a miracle. I'm grateful to this mask because I'm laughing at the street and nobody see me, you know, and nobody think I'm crazy. So, you know, it's great. Just I can talk with myself and I can laugh, you know. And actually, and I extremely grateful to myself also because I had to make the huge work, and it was very uncomfortable and very painful. And 2004, during my workshop with founder of Nonviolent Communication, Marshall Rosenberg in Strasbourg, probably the work was so painful. I had to go so deeply that something happened, and it was my birthday, July 11, and something happened, and sometimes later I started to compose the music. So music back to me, music had this space in me to express herself. And that was the year of my first album. So, and my way and path of musician, it is the way of spiritual initiation, where during all of these years, I met just incredible people. And for me, it is also a miracle. And to meet Dr. Naram, Dr. Giovanni Clint in Italy, it is also a miracle. And to have this possibility to offer to Dr. Naram my album, it is also a miracle for me. And to join the group and to see the first time in this group, the first time we had these small break groups, the person I met in the small group, in the Binom, it was one guy from Costa Rica, and it was the musician, and he wanted also to heal through the music. So, when I met Gary, when I saw him in this group, I said that is incredible, because this guy making exactly what was my inspiration and is my inspiration in the music, and what's give me possibility, even it's very difficult to go forward. So just all of you, it is the miracle of life, you know. So the gratitude, it is feeling and emotion, and the connection to gratitude really changed everything around me. You know?
I love that, Renera. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. I love that you took us through your journey, because, you know, you took us through, you know, your creativity, and then you had a block, if I'm hearing you correctly. And then you were able to work through some of those blocks, and something shifted and you were able to create again. But I love that you have such a strong intention for healing the world. And we as a group today are very, very honored that Renera is going to share a piece with us. And while we are doing, you know, experiencing this piece of music, I really want you to connect with you as a soul. What creativity do you have to share with the world? What as a soul, whether it's creativity or not creativity, what do you as a soul have to be able to express in the world? How, you know, if it could even just be something very small, like taking care of an elderly parent or raising children. It doesn't have to be grandiose, like saving, you know, a city, you know, it, whatever it is, you know, just really connect with that. Rhaenyra's music to me is very powerful. I love piano. It's one of my favorite instruments. And so I was raised with a lot of piano music in my family. One of the things that you spoke to, Rhaenyra, was Gary. And Gary had said, music is the chemical wisdom, and it touches the mind, body, heart, and soul. And if we allow that to integrate into us, you know, and even push that out into every cell of our being, you know, there's healing in music. It's absolutely beautiful. We have so much talent in this group. And I know Colette is, she's a flautist, and she does some beautiful work as well, you know, and I would love to have some of that talent extracted and be able to share. I don't know if, you know, if you guys are willing to share, we'd love to hear. So Rhaenyra, if you're ready, we would love to hear you play your piano piece.
Yeah, just one thing I want to add, that I am extremely thankful to Athiti Deva Baba, extremely thankful, because it's really changed my interaction with all over the world and with everything happened every day. So I'm so thankful to Athiti Deva Baba all the time. And now I just ask everybody, close your eyes, connect yourself with something very, very alive now, here and now, something very alive. It doesn't matter what exactly, it could be situation, emotion, feeling. Just connect with something very, very alive now. And we just invite the music for this moment.
Absolutely beautiful, Renera. Thank you so much. Can you believe that that came out of her fingers, out of her soul to create that beautiful piece of music? It's just, wow. Thank you so much. Is there anybody that would like to speak to Renera or to anything that we've had on the call?
It was actually it was your vibrations, you know, so because it was the improvisations from the from your feelings, from something you were connected.
Feels so good. Feels so good. Awesome. Wonderful. Well, I'm mindful of the time. We're an hour, 90 minutes in. I'm so glad that you guys are all here. If there's somebody that has something that they would like to say, I would love to have you unmute. And Mike, is there anything in the chat that you want to?
I would actually like to just ask Renara, because I see it here in the chat. Renara, where can we get your music? Is it under your name, and is it available somewhere on Amazon, or where can we get hold of your beautiful music?
I will write now the website to everybody, and you can see more and know about more. Renara Music. Yeah, this one.
There's so many things in the chat that are worth sharing. We could spend another hour sharing all those, but there is one that just jumps out at me that Lynn wrote. I love that the word saints has come up in this call. I feel like saints want to be included too. We're celebrating All Saints Day today, actually. A special day for me too today, like every other day, but today is special in a personal way, for it's All Saints Day. We sing, we pray beautiful hymns to this day, Memorial Day, wishing everyone a beautiful All Saints Day. The teachers I speak to always say that everyone's called to be a saint. That's the vocation each human being is called to. Not sure how everyone responds to that, but I find that a beautiful thought and invitation. Namaste, beautiful Renara. And I'd just like to echo on All Saints Day that there's so many saints that have blessed my life. And one in particular, a lesser known Saint Richard, the protector of hearts, for the reasons many of you know. And just aspire to be and see all of the saints.
Awesome. Oh, Mike, thank you. Yes, thank you. Anything that anybody would like to share? All right. Well, yes, please.
Oh, cool. Um, really happy. I didn't expect this, but I was cooking breakfast. I didn't really know what to say, but I while you guys were sharing, I passed my dad. I'm with my dad right now, so I passed him a bowl of what I was eating, and it was egg. The toppings was pretty much avocado, egg, black bean, and mung bean. And if you season it Mexican style, my dad's gonna eat it. so he goes, Chad, this is good. What is it? My dad's very, very. He's an English teacher, so he enunciates everything to the T. He says the texture was precise. I'm like, okay, Dad. But anyways, the point is, I'm grateful that I'm slowly converting him on the mung bean. But I didn't come to teach him. I came to love him. So that's why it worked.
That's so great. Oh, Jay, thank you so much. Awesome. Anybody else? Yes, Padmalaya, just unmute.
Yeah, the music was really so beautiful, and my experience was that it made me feel like moving my body. And for me personally, it makes me want to do something which I've been actually kind of awakening in myself with the other things we're doing in the group, which is to listen to beautiful music like that regularly and move my body, which has also coincided with the group that Connie has been doing about movement and our bodies. And it's interesting coincidence how this has come together. But I think it's an idea really that I have that all of us, whether we have backgrounds as dancers or just, as human beings, we can feel this beauty in the music and we can connect to those, like the simple things in life, how we were talking about. And if we just breathe to the music or we move our bodies to beautiful music like that, I feel it connects us to the love of the universe even further.
It's so true. It's so true. I'd like to share, let me start over. I would like to send Renera some very good love. So let's rub our hands together and tell her thank you so much for sharing her beautiful, beautiful gift with us. Thank you, Renera. Such a beautiful gift. Such a beautiful gift. Thank you. Awesome. Well, I'm not really good with the chat. So if there's anybody else that would like to say anything, please unmute.
I wanted to I feel compelled to share a little story that happened, but I wanted to thank Renara. That was so exquisite. I felt it all through my whole heart region in my chest. And I'm a feeler. That's how I do my work. So when I felt that, it just felt like an opening and a releasing and a softening. So thank you. It was so beautiful. We had trick or treat yesterday. And normally I don't involve myself in this kind of thing very much, but over the last year, I've become very connected to the children in the neighborhood. I never had my own children, but I've been very connected to the children in the neighborhood. And so I decided I was going to have the candy, and I actually was going to dress up for the first time ever for Halloween. And so I dress up in this costume and I'm all make-upped up and everything and greeting the children at the door. And over the course of, I don't know, about a year or so, I walk my dog around the block, and there's a little girl that just moved in around the corner about a year ago. And she's very connected to me. Her mother tells me this. When I walk by, she comes running and walks with me for a little bit and whatever. She's about 6. And so yesterday when she and her mom and dad came to the door, she was dressed in the exact same outfit that I was. And it was such this beautiful, beautiful connection of, it was a God nod. It was an absolute God nod that said, yes, you're absolutely connected with this little one. And what a precious connection it is. So we had her dad take a picture of us, and I put it out there on Facebook. So look for it on Facebook. It's under my name, and it's so beautiful. And it just warmed my heart so much. I just keep thinking about how wonderful this this unifying source energy is in such magical ways. And, you know, this group is obviously one of them, but that was such a great God nod for me last night. I wanted to share.
I love it. I thought the same when I saw you, when I saw your picture, Rochelle. First of all, your costume was just, wow. It was just really beautiful. And you looked so good in it. And to have this cute little person next to you, it just was such a precious moment. So thank you so much. Everybody, it's beautiful. You need to go and see it. So thank you so much.
Just one
Yes.
word. I'm really grateful to all of you. Just thank you. Thank you.
Just wanted to say thank you, Renara. Your music is a real blessing, and I've listened to a lot of your tapes on video on YouTube, and it's just really, really touching and incredible where she gets her inspiration to play. And I've told her about it before too, so it's just, I want to say it in the big group again. I mean, it's really incredible how she connects to the universe, or whatever you want to call it, the heavenly realm, and she's able to get all that into her fingers and to play whatever she plays. It just sounds divine. Thank you very much, Renara.
Thank you. Thank you. And all of you. You are all the catalysis of God, you know, as all of us. That is God speaking to me. Thank you.
You know, I cannot imagine how much vulnerability goes into creating a piece of music. You know, I do artwork, and I know how much vulnerability I have when I put things down on a paper or on a canvas. And to be able to share that piece of me to the world, it's very challenging at times because you don't know whether it'll be accepted or rejected. And I can be in a place of vulnerability until I see the validation sometimes from others. And it shouldn't have to be that way. It should be a validation of self. But what I'm trying to say is that Renara is extremely vulnerable and it's so beautiful when she is playing, you know, and the improvisation, you know, I studied improvisation for a few years, and it is divine what she does. It's just divine. So just thank you so much. Thank you again.
Thank all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this space. Thank you for this, for all of your energy. Thank you for the path of each of you. There is nothing by accident, and we are just like a quintessence and synergy of all of our path, you know, and finding in this group which make maximum we can, you know, to raise the vibrations of the planet, which suffering a lot today, a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
especially kids, especially children's.
Yeah.
Children's and soil, actually. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for this space. Thank you.
Now, like I said today, I took all day yesterday, and I had 7 different directions I could have taken the call today, and every single one of them got knocked off. It was like, nope, you need to show up and be with these wonderful people and love them and allow them to come together and share their hearts, share their spirits, share their soul. And I'm so glad that I did. This has been a beautiful call. Thank you, guys. Let's unmute and say, I love you and I'm with you.
Thank you
I
very
love
much.
you and I'm
Thank
with
you.
you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Yeah, and I love
Love
you.
you and I'm
I'm
with
with
you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm
Love
with
you
you.
and I'm with
I
you.
love
Love
you
you and
And
I'm
I'm
with
with
you.
you.
Love you and
Love
I
you and
love
I'm
you.
with
Thank you,
you.
Jana.
Love
I
you and
love
I'm with
you
you.
and I'm
Love you
with
and
you.
I'm with you.
Love you
And
and
I'm
I'm
with
with you.
you.
I love you and I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you.